Que Pasa Calexico. Welcome back to the podcast. Like always, before we begin, I want to thank a couple of people. First of all, I want to thank my friends here at Calexico Brewing for allowing me to record today's episode here. Also want to thank my friends Jake, Camilo, Norma Galindo, Eddie Lopez from Roots Creative, Eric Reyes from Los Amigos de la Comunidad, Sergio's Tacos and Hotdogs, serving the Imperial, Yuma, and San Diego counties with Mexicali style tacos and hot dogs. I also want to thank David. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David. He's not only a realtor, but an investor with over 20 years of experience, and he'll help you along the way. One of the most important investments of your life. We're back here at Calexico Brewing, like I said. My guest today is a candidate for the Imperial County District Attorney. My guest today is Mr Vela. Thank you for being here today.
Of course. Thank you for having me, Jose. Very, very exciting.
So before we get into the campaign and meats and potatoes, all that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes. My name is Mr Vela. I am currently one of your Imperial County Deputy District Attorneys, and I am running for District Attorney. I am from Calexico. So, ¿qué pasa, Calexico? Hola, ¿cómo están? Muchas gracias a todos. Gracias por la invitación, José. Te lo agradezco mucho.
Yes.
I'm native from here, and I've been working as a Deputy DA since 2018.
Oh wow, it's been quite a while now, 4 years, and because I don't know if you mind asking me, but what's your age? Because you seem pretty young.
No, thank you, but I'm not that young. I'm actually 31 years old.
Yeah, that's young. I'm gonna be 40 next month. So
well, you also look very young.
Thank you. I think dressing up as a teenager kind of helps me look like I'm young, but I'm pretty old. Yeah. You grew up here. You went to.
Yes, I went to St. Mary's School for elementary in El Centro, and then I went to Vincent Memorial for high school. I went to IVC for college for about 1 year, and then I transferred to UCSD. After I transferred from UCSD, I came back here to Calexico because I graduated college when I was 20 years old. Oh. So I was quite young when I finished college. I did it very quickly. I had a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong; it was a lot of fun. I applied was looking for jobs after college, and I became an office manager at a bankruptcy law firm here in Calexico. I worked at the law offices of Kenneth Cook for a year. I was saving up some money for law school, and after a year of being back home here, I went to law school in Boston at Suffolk Law, and I was there for 3 years. And after I graduated, I went to the Los Angeles DA's office, and then I came back here again after about a few months in Los Angeles. I worked at the firm Horton Knox Carter and Foote in El Centro for a couple of years, and then I worked at the law offices of Philip Crum, another local law firm in El Centro, and then Mr. Otero gave me a job at the district attorney's office, and I've been there ever since.
And I think something that, going through, doing some research, going through your Instagram and Facebook, something that you didn't mention is that, you've been, law has been something that's been in you for a long time. Because even, during high school, you were part of the mock trial team and
yes,
all this stuff. So, law has been something that you've been, passionate about.
Since I was very young, my mom, she's an attorney in Mexico. Oh, okay. Both my parents studied law in Mexico, Mexicali. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I was a kid, if it was late, I distinctly remember if I would yell at mama, 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 and she would yell back, adelante. Because she thought that she was still working, right? She was working on a computer. Adelante. So she just assumed that she was in her office. But really, it was me and she was home. So I think I grew up with that strong maternal figure of working, being an attorney. And I think that it was just embedded in me since I was very, very young. I actually have a yearbook from when I was in I guess, Montessori school, like preschool. I think I was about 3 years old. And there's like a spread for children. And they ask me what your plans are for the future. And I tell, I want to be a lawyer, Miss Marta, y te voy a defender. That was my quote of a 4-year-old Mario. So I think it's something that I just grew up with. I've always known that I wanted to be an attorney, obviously following in my mother's footsteps. But I think that when I joined mock trial at Vincent Memorial, because I did it for 4 years, my attorney coach was Lance Corton. He was a local attorney here in El Centro. I think he moved to the Midwest now. And my teacher coach, Lourdes Ramirez, who she's still in the program, she's still a teacher. I think I learned so much in that program, and they just solidified my desire to become a trial attorney. So it's a wonderful program. You have no idea how much it helps. When I was in law school on my second year, I took evidence where they teach you all the objections and stuff. And everyone was having a hard time in that class. Everyone dreaded the class. But not to me, because I learned evidence when I was 14 years old. So, I mean, what it does to mock trial the kids, it's amazing because you are giving the kids between 14 and 18-year-olds a full-on criminal case. And it's just so amazing how they litigate it. Sometimes they're even better than myself. You know what I mean? Like they're just so good at it. Yeah. So I was involved in the mock trial program in high school. I went to college and I was involved in the program there as well. I coached a couple of teams when I was at UCSD. When I went to Boston for law school, I also participated in the mock trial program and the national trial team, and I coached my fraternity's mock trial team as well. And as soon as I came back to the Valley in 2016, I served as coach for Vincent Memorial, and I got to work with my teacher coach again, Lourdes Ramirez. And it was, I really treasure those moments. We made it to the county finals 3 years in a row. We went to state finals, to the state championships 2 years in a row. And I got to coach my brother, Rodrigo, because he joined the mock trial program. That's cool. And it was just, it's really, really rewarding. And I'm a firm believer that it does wonders to young high school students, this program.
Especially people that want to go into this field,
Yes.
Having that early knowledge of how, a trial works is really, really important.
Correct. Yeah, it's very realistic and it's very dramatic, and I loved it. Recently, this year, I stepped down as coach of the mock trial program, but the Imperial County Office of Education was so kind to invite me to judge, to serve as a judge. So I presided over one round of the competition. It was my first time putting on a fake robe and be the judge. A couple of my fellow deputy district attorneys, Margaret Tafoya and Clarissa Evangelist, also scored the program. So, the DA's office is and will always be involved in this program because, like I said, I think it does wonders to the high school students.
Yeah. Now that you're running for DA, do you think it's important for, young kids to kind of like get to know the system? A lot of people, when they say the system, being in a trial or defending yourselves or, knowing, all these things that might get you in trouble. Do you think it's important for younger kids to kind of know, the law?
Absolutely. I think it really is. Even now, I've had high school students shadow me, like going to court with me, see what it's like. And I think that it's a big part of my platform involving students in what we do. I think it's huge. We don't have a law school here, right? So everyone that wants to become an attorney has to move out of the county, go to law school, and then come back. I think that the DA's office, all of us, we are all leaders in our community. And I think that we need to involve children as much as we can so that they can look up to us and maybe, follow in our footsteps and becoming DAs and see what we do.
Yeah.
The DA's office has investigations, victim witness. We're litigating cases. I think it's extremely, extremely important to be involved with and be present with schools. Be present.
Especially since, you're somebody that, is from the Valley, went away to study law, came back and, you're working for the DA. But, the DA has a big turnaround of, DAs working in the county. And you're a good example of, like I said, coming back and working for your county. Does getting them involved young, kind of entice them to come back? Or?
Well, it definitely worked for me. When I was a DA, got to meet so many judges that I'm appearing in front of now as an attorney, as a prosecutor. So it definitely worked for me. I think it's very imperative to have local talent and have that talent stay. Because being a prosecutor, Jose, I think it's much more than just being an attorney. I think it's a calling. we are public servants. And I think people forget that. We're not attorneys, we're prosecutors. And we're not prosecutors, we are public servants. It's a service that we do to our community. All of us, the ones that we choose this job, we choose to be career prosecutors. I don't think that we ever made a decision to do big law, to charge the big bucks.
Yeah.
We understand what the job is. So I think that having young talent being exposed to what we do from early stages, I think that can really catch on and maybe, even they can even find this attractive and come work for us and become public servants like we do.
Yeah. You're the candidate that got the endorsement from the current DA. What do you tell those people that kind of are, because our current DA is like people that don't know, he's been the DA for the last 20 years, I think.
He's 27 years for now. Yes.
What do you say to those people that are kind of like tired of the same system, but you got his endorsement? So, what are some of the changes that you would make or keep, or things that you would keep from him?
I'm obviously very honored, very humbled that District Attorney Gilbert Otero endorsed me and chose me as his successor. I was not expecting it when we talked about it. It was really unexpected. I've always had aspirations to become the DA. I didn't know it was going to be this soon. So for everyone that maybe doesn't or is tired of Mr. Otero, I would ask why. I ask people, why are you tired of him? I never get an answer. I never really do. I think it's just the fact that he's been in office for the past 27 years. I will do a lot of things differently. A lot of things differently. And Mr. Otero knows this. I will protect his legacy as much as I can because he has been in office for the past 27 years. He did at least something right. And he's been a great mentor of mine, a great mentor in everything, really. And I will take what works now and do away with the rest. So I will do lots of things differently. I am going to restructure the office and bring it back to the idea that we are all public servants and we are servicing the people of the Imperial County. And the thing is, every single deputy district attorney in the office right now is with me, and we share the exact same vision on how to restructure and revive and revitalize the office of the district attorney, because that's what it needs, a whole revitalization, and that's what we're going to do.
What made you decide to run now?
Well, to be perfectly honest, he asked me if I was interested in the job. When he asked me, I thought about it. I thought about it for maybe like 15 minutes. I spoke with my family, with my friends, with other mentors in the legal profession. And I said, yes, I think that I am the only candidate right now that can really make a difference and really revive the office of the district attorney. I'm the only candidate that is currently a prosecutor. I'm the only candidate that is a native of Calexico, that is a native of the Valley. And I'm the only candidate that has the support of the entire deputy district attorneys. We all share the exact same vision. And I'm the only candidate that is going to work, that is going to litigate cases. I'm not going to be sitting behind a desk. That's not what this county needs.
Yeah.
So
I don't, and you mentioned that, and from talking to you these last couple of weeks, trying to schedule this, somebody that's really, from what I've seen, from what I've heard, somebody that's really dedicated. Comments that I've heard from people that I've asked about you, it's like always super smart. Say you don't win, and I'm just
no, it's fine. Yes,
because something that I kind of when talk, I've been over the years, I've been talking to a lot of people that are ran for office, and they lose and they're out of the they you don't hear from them, or you don't see them being involved, and I think that a lot of the people that lose have a lot of good ideas and a lot of ways to make the county better. Are you going to be willing to be help out the new DA, make sure that you share your ideas and make sure that maybe get them implemented into the DA's office. What's going to be your role, after the campaign?
No one has asked me that question before, and I think it's a very good question to ask. I'm not going to leave. If I lose this election, I'm not going to leave. My commitment is and will always be service to the people of that community. This is where I grew up. This is what I love doing. I feel like I do make a difference one case at a time. It's really rewarding. I can't really put it into words what it's like for me to share how much I love the job that I do and how much I care about the cases that are mine and this community. So I'm not going to leave my home. I'm not going to leave my county. This is my county. I will continue to serve as the people of the Imperial County in my role as a deputy DA. Whoever gets elected, I will work with that person closely so we can revive the office. Mm-hmm. I just hope that person, whoever's elected, is willing to work with me, though. But I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and that's something that kind of bugs me a lot. When, like I said, when people, I talk to them like, oh, you have really good ideas, really good things to change the city, as if it's city council, if it's school board, but yet once they lose, they go away, and it's like, you could have been a lot of help, for whoever won or whoever's in office. So yeah, I think that's something that needs to be asked a little bit more.
Yes, absolutely, I agree. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And going back to your age, you're 31. The DA is probably like the top of the top. To me, like a lot of people might say, you're a little bit too young for this. What do you say to those people about your they might say your lack of experience because of your age?
Well, I would say that age is no guarantee of efficiency whatsoever. It's not. Mr. Otero was also in his 30s when he first became elected to the office of the district attorney. I'll be 32 if I'm elected when I take office. And because the entire deputy DAs, all of us in the office, are behind me in this, together we share over 30 years of experience as prosecutors. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where the experience is. That's where the experience lies. Because collectively, we have over 30 years of experience being prosecutors, prosecuting crimes, keeping the community safe. With regards to my age, I think it's actually a positive, Jose, because I'm young. I have all the energy in the world. I am still very passionate about this job. I don't have any other commitments. I'm not married. I don't have any children. All I do is enjoy my life as a DA. That's my job. And I'm so proud about it. Mm-hmm. I love what I do. So I think it works to my benefit to see that a young person with young ideas, different ideas, energy has the vitality to revitalize this office. So I don't think that to be a negative. On the contrary, I think it's a positive. Mm-hmm. And I have all the experience necessary to become the district attorney, even though I'm 31 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like you said, you finished, college at 20 and...
Yes. I mean, I graduated from high school at 17. I graduated from college at 20. I graduated from law school at 24. So I think that, age really is just a number, and it's not... doesn't equate to experience.
Yeah, and then you add, the years as in mock trial and all these, you've had a kind of quite a long career by now.
Yes, and I've done lots of trials too, felony trials. I just got a conviction against the Imperial County Auditor Controller this week. I love being in the courtroom. I love trying cases, and that's not going to stop. And I think that I have more than enough experience to be the DA.
Tell me a little bit about your slogan for the people.
Mr Vela for the people. That's what I say every single time I'm in court. Every time I make an appearance, when they call a case, it's Mr Vela for the people. Because I represent the people of the state of California, the county of Imperial. That's who I represent. Mm-hmm. Mr Vela for the people, I picked that as a slogan because I want to bring that culture back to remembering what we do. and that is that we are public servants. Like right now, I am your public servant. I'm currently one of your deputy DAs. And I want to bring that culture back in the office. You know, that we are public servants before we are lawyers or prosecutors. That's our main job, our main concern. Part of my platform and part of my campaign is I want to give the people, I want to empower the community of the Imperial County, involve them in our decisions. Because a lot of people don't really know what goes on in the DA's office. There is a lack of accountability currently in the office. And people sometimes get upset. You know, why did this person get this sentence? Why did this person get this deal? Well, we have the reasons, like we know why, and it's not the reasons why these people may think. And I think that putting us out there, you know, holding the people accountable for what we do is a very important part of my platform. I want to involve more people in our decisions, and I want to keep them informed. Hey, this is what's happening. Sometimes we have problems with the case. Sometimes we may even know who was a perpetrator, but we can't legally prove it. And I think a lot of people forget that we as prosecutors, we need to safeguard and uphold the law as well. It's not just enough that someone did something. We have to be sure that we're acting in accordance to the law.
Yeah, I think during the pandemic, I watched a lot of like crime shows, and people, you know, a lot of the things that come on often is where, oh, you know, he only got prosecuted for, you know, something minor than what he committed, but the lawyers always say, oh, it's because we couldn't prove that, but yeah, we could get him for this, and we'd rather get him for this and not this, and let him walk free. So, you know, there's a lot of details that people, you know, don't see when it comes to like really prosecuting somebody, you know, for a crime. You know, they rather get them for something smaller than let them go free.
Exactly. And, you know, we do what's right. You know, we always do what's right. We have to do what the justice is sought, you know, seeking justice, doing justice. And sometimes the right thing is the right thing, even if people get upset about it. But that's just what we do. But I want to be able to tell people the reasons why we did the things that we do. So that's part of the slogan for the people, involving, empowering the community, and reminding everyone that we are servicing the people and at your service.
Yeah. You mentioned that, you know, a lot of people are not, you know, really don't know what goes on in the DA's office. In your own words, and kind of like, say somebody in the street asks you, oh, what does a DA do? Or what does a DA district office do? Can you tell me in your own words, kind of like dumb it down a little bit, so somebody that might not know a lot about law, you might be able to understand what goes on there?
Sure. People have asked me that question before, and this is what I tell them. You know, every time a police officer from any agency, from any law enforcement agency, arrests someone or cites someone, they generate a report, and then that report is sent to the district attorney's office, because the office of the district attorney is the office charged with reviewing crimes to see if we're going to hold people accountable for what they did. So all we do is we get these reports, we review the reports, and we decide whether or not to press charges or charge someone with a crime. That is, in a nutshell, what the DA's office does. But it's much more complex than that. It's also giving victims a voice. It's also honoring victims' rights. It's also safeguarding the rights of the defendant. The defendant is the person who gets accused of crimes. We need to be sure that he or she gets a fair trial. It's a whole umbrella of things of what we do, but in a nutshell is we prosecute crimes. We try to keep the community safe. We honor victims' rights, and we make sure that the defendant gets a fair shot at his trial. So that's, in a nutshell, what we do. Yeah,
and it's kind of hard, like, to, I guess, like, please everybody in that sense, because, like you said, like, you gotta give even the person committing the crime a fair trial.
Yes, that's what we do. I mean, that's why this job is very honorable, and that's why I think that we, as deputy DAs, it's a very noble and honorable profession because we have to be vigilant of doing the right thing. What we do is always the right thing. We're seeking justice. It's doing what's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And like going back to that, it's kind of hard to please everybody when, maybe somebody thinks that, the sentence wasn't, the right sentence, or because you were a victim, or because you're, the defendant's family, or, it's
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't think I could do it. Let me see. What else do I have here on my notes? So where can people kind of follow your campaign if they want to be, know where you're? Because I know you've been having, or you plan on having, weekly community meetings. At last week you had one at Hope, right? Hope Cafe.
Hope Cafe in Calexico, yes. It wasn't advertised as much, but we got a great turnout. Lots of people came in. They were asking for, questions and my ideas and my platforms, and, you're too young. What are your plans? And what I tell them is, a lot of people may think of the position as the district attorney as being an administrator, as being the manager, as managing a law firm. That's what their goal is. Some people may think that that's the position of the DA, just being the boss and managing. That may work in bigger counties, like in San Diego or Los Angeles or Riverside. It doesn't translate well in this county.
Yeah.
What this office needs right now is a leader that's going to be right next to the other deputy DAs, trying cases, litigating cases, leading by example, volunteering in mock trial, volunteering in schools, attending the community events. That's what the Imperial County needs. So I'm not going to be an administrator. I'm going to lead by example. And together with over 30 years of combined experience as prosecutors, I think that I am the best candidate for the job, because I'm going to keep working and litigating side by side with my fellow deputy district attorneys. And we are planning on having weekly informal chats in different cafes around the Imperial County. I think our next Coffee with the Candidate is going to be on next Thursday, actually, in Hope Cafe in El Centro. They just opened up there. So I think we're going to have it there at 5:30 p.m. So everyone is invited. Everyone can follow my social media. We are on Instagram, Mario Vela for DA, Facebook, Mario Vela for DA 2022. And they can email me too, mariovelaforda@gmail.com. And I'd be more than happy to talk with anyone. I think it's important that people listen to me. And once they talk to me, they'll have a better understanding about where I'm from and what I can do and the difference I can make in the office. So if anyone out there wants me to talk to family, friends, work colleagues, anyone, I am, like I said before, I'm at your service, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it.
Yeah, because, like going back to your age, when somebody sees you, like, they're obviously going to think, oh, he's young. But once they talk to you, they probably, not see the age anymore as a factor.
Yes, I think so. I think that's what I'm hoping for, at least.
You mentioned, I was reading an article, I think it was a Calexico Chronicle or one of the articles. You mentioned the importance of, the DA and all the law enforcement agencies to, be connected and be, talking to each other. How do you plan on, because and all the other candidates have mentioned the same thing. I mentioned it to them where, we're a border town. So we obviously have, the police departments, the sheriff's office, highway patrol, border patrol, customs, there's a lot more agencies than, other counties because of, our closeness to the border. How do you plan to, making sure that they're all working together, with the DA's office?
Well, every single law enforcement agency in the county, they are our partners, right? From a second a crime is committed up until they take a plea or up until a jury reads a verdict, They are our partners from the get-go. So I think it's very important to strengthen the relationships we currently have. And I have a pretty good relationship with all the cops that I work in cases. I have most of their phone numbers. I think that just reinforcing that sort of amicable relationship that we currently have with them will go a long way. I plan on starting some sort of a summer program for high school, college, or law students. I think that Judge Nunez is the champion of this externship that is currently held at the Superior Court in El Centro for the past 4 summers, where he invites students to basically shadow judges. I want to do the exact same thing, some sort of externships where students can shadow us during the summer. And I want to put together a program where law enforcement also participates in this. Maybe putting together a mock trial for them, because I have given trainings before at the sheriff's office. They've asked me a couple of years ago to go to do some trainings as to how to testify in court, where they had some Fourth Amendment questions, or they had some criminal procedure questions. Because it's very different for cops when they're testifying at a preliminary hearing where there is no jurors. It's just a hearing between the judge, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor, than it is when they actually have to go to trial. And I think that keeping them as involved as possible in what we do and how we do things will go a long way. It goes back again to revitalizing and reviving our office. So if we have that flow of communication with the people and law enforcement agencies, I think that we can make a difference. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Just communication. Yeah. Be more open. Be more available. Yeah. You know, they have my number. Call me anytime. Dude, you're my partner. Call me anytime. Yeah. And that's what I do with them as well. So sharing and, you know, expanding the culture in my own practices with everyone else's, I think that's one way of doing it.
Voting isn't a huge thing in the Imperial County. You know, you look at, you know, elections and not a lot of people turn out to vote. Do you think that community needs to be more involved when it comes to, you know, election for district attorney, and why?
You know what? I unfortunately think I don't blame the community though for doing that. I blame us, the leaders, because we need to be tasked with involving them to vote. So if they're not voting, I think it's because we're doing something wrong, because we're not involving them to do so. So I think it's obviously very, very important that they vote, and being out there and putting us out there, reminding them that we are at their service, that you know, Mr Vela for the people, we're all for the people. I think that will get a bigger turnout next time around. If they see how involved and invested we are in the community, I think that will translate again to revitalizing the community as a whole. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I think if we are out there and they see us out there, it will empower the community to do the same and step up and hold their leaders accountable for what office they were elected.
Yeah, for sure. Because, sometimes like you see people get elected and, you know, you don't see them as involved as they were when they were running their campaigns.
Of course.
I mean, I mean, everybody does it, and I'm not trying to point fingers or blame anybody, but it's, you know, sometimes you get busy and you know, you probably won't have as much time as you did when you were running that campaign, but yeah, it's something that, you know, getting, like I said, getting our leaders involved is something that we need to have more of. Anything else that you would like to, that I haven't touched upon, that you would like to add to our conversation?
No, I think Come
in, you're good.
Buenas tardes. Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes. I think that all I can say is that I'm here for every single voter in the community, that I'm here for every single person in the entire county of Imperial. If they want to talk to me, they can. They will. I'd be more than happy to do so. I think that I need to reach more people out, and I need to tell them what I'm all about. And I just want to tell them that I have the county's best interest at heart. I really do. I'm passionate about what I do. I know I can do a good job. I know that all my attorneys My coworkers, my friends are with me on it, and I'm the best candidate to really make a difference and revive the district attorney's office. And you brought an excellent point right now, where people that are elected officials, sometimes they don't have the energy or the time that they did before. I pledge to everyone in the community that if I'm elected, as soon as I start losing that passion, as soon as I start losing that fire that I currently have, that hunger that I currently have, I will happily step down as DA and continue being a line prosecutor, because that I will never get tired of. That's my calling. I want to be a public servant forever. And I think I'm the best guy for the job. Y a todos los que me escuchan, que hablan español, los invito a que me conozcan, que me sigan en las redes sociales. Tienen cualquier duda, yo estoy en la mejor disposición para contestársela. Si quieren que hable con su familia, personas de su trabajo, sus papás, amigos, lo que sea, invítenme. Yo con todo gusto les contesto todas las preguntas que ustedes puedan tener. Yo la verdad estoy a sus órdenes y aquí estamos para seguir trabajando para proteger a la comunidad.
Yeah, gracias. Hopefully that, there's, for me, it's the first time that I've been involved with the DA's campaign, because, for a long time, I think Mr. Hotel, the last election season, there was only one candidate against him, right?
Yes, only one candidate.
And then prior to that, he ran
unopposed.
Yeah. So this is the first time where we have 4 candidates running for this position.
Yes.
And hopefully that entices the community a little bit more to get involved and kind of know and learn what the DA's office does, because like I said, a lot of people don't even know till they're in court or being prosecuted for something or who the DA or who the prosecutors are. So hopefully this gets the community involved in getting to know the prosecutors, getting to know the DA, who's whoever wins, go ask them questions, go why is this happening, hopefully this changes a lot. And yeah, wish you nothing but luck on your campaign.
Thank you very much, Jose. Thank you.
Anybody else that would like to come on the podcast and talk about, I already interviewed 2 other candidates, but one of the one said he would be on, but you're more than welcome to come on. But yeah, wish everybody the best. I try not to endorse anybody, just so that, that my goal here is for the community to know the candidates through my podcast, and give everybody an unbiased conversation with the candidate, and hopefully I'm doing that with for everybody.
I think you have. I think you're doing an excellent job. Yes. Thank you. And if your subscribers has questions, they have questions for me, you let me know, and I'd be more than happy to come back again and talk to you about, the current stages of my campaign and some of my other plans as well.
Mm-hmm. And I'll link, in the description, I'll put, links to your social media and to your website.
Thank you,
so
Jose.
People can go in there and follow you and follow the campaign. I know, June is when people go out to vote, right?
June 7th is the primary election. I think that the mail-in ballots go out in May. But yes, it's coming up. So it's coming up very soon.
Yeah. And most likely it's going to go to a runoff, because of the amount of candidates. And so we'll probably see most of you in November, right?
Yes, unless 50% or more of the voters of Imperial County come and listen to me and, they want to really get someone with experience and with the best interests at heart in office, I think that we can win in June. So, but if not, we'll do our best and we'll see whoever it is at the runoff election in November.
And the only reason I kind of mentioned this, going back to the turnout to vote, a lot of people don't come out to vote, especially for, DA. So if not a lot of people turn out and you distribute the votes between the candidates, it may not go.
No, yes, we're well aware. Yes.
So, but yeah, with that said, I invite people to vote, to go out and vote, and I don't know. Hopefully, we won't get a runoff, but yeah. Thank you once again for coming on and sharing your your stories, your campaign, and everything. And hopefully people reach out to you if they have any more questions for you.
I hope they do. Thank you for having me, Jose. Un placer, de verdad. Muchas gracias.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening or watching. Once again, thank you, Calexico Brewing, for giving me the space today. Yeah, have a good Saturday. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.